Your greatest fans and worst enemies can only make it to the edge of the darkest night of the ego and the dark light of the soul, where you will go in order to retrieve fragments of your soul to become whole once again, maybe for the first time, because if you weren't, why would you be here in this ultimate reality game experience? Realistic evidence appearing legit in tomorrow's yesterday. Reality. What do you say? What do you say about that? I want to ask you, and then also say I had a drop over the weekend about United and Untied. If we are willing to unbind ourselves from all the not now moments we lost ourselves, to come back centered in the now, in this new orderly world that we have a chance to bring together now together. Would you say we can weather the storms that are coming and are already here? Breathe through it, baby. Woo! Yeah. Haha. I love it. I hope that you can feel the enthusiasm, which is the E of peaceful inner warriors united. There is a lot of passion in that, authenticity, clarity, and encouragement too, for those are the letters of peace from my perspective. What about yours? What does it mean to become full, to find your tribe, understand what's yours rather than what will be projected onto you as if it is, that you can either buy the BS the Bible would sell, or other mediums that were all written by the impure filter of man or woman, though the woe is said to be title, I've heard. Who even knows? Except for those who are in the know, because they had to make an oath or vow of secrecy to protect the society that gave them access to the truth, which was written by the man or woman that designed that grand capture of energy, which all groups essentially are. Peaceful Inner Warriors United could be no different, except I have not yet actually formulated a way for us to stay united in a reasonable or sustainable way. So I'm working on that, and I don't want people to have to pay to be part of something, except that people do not value what they don't pay for, because they forget the other elements of a team: time, energy, effort, attention, and money, which we use as the medium, the currency we see, the currents of rippling out to say, I paid my dues. Well, sometimes you get screwed when you do, and your soul is what is on the line. All of those who have stayed away from the divine in order to align with something created by man that is better, well, let me fetter. I guess that better is not going to be what we thought while we were here, unless we're willing to go inward. That is why inner stands for individual needs, necessitate emotional resilience, resonance, and respect. I did not actually see that respect was the 3 R's that would have us stand as who and whose we truly are. Or is it a true lie? Truly, only you can see, because you learned to feel into the heart of whose and whose you were, and always are and will be, until you're deceived and taken over. I have went too low, my muscles are not there, they cannot share the same tones of my hierarchy. my. Purify your aura and your mind, your heart, your soul, your spirit too. Spirit flows to and through you. The soul is what you came here to recollect fragments of, from all the places that you gave it to before you knew that your most powerful stance is as a man or woman, standing for what you believe in, because if you don't, then you'll not be impeccable with your word. Those are the ways you spell out the spells you cast into your life, and some will last and others will not, because there's a reason or season or a lifetime as to why we get to connect with others who see our value, unless they don't and just want to use and abuse us and throw us away when they are through with us. Whew, yeah, that's a heavy message, and I sing it because that is how I wing it. 1 is the way. New beginnings, all I say is you have got to forget what you knew before to get back to the center of who and whose you are and always were, until you thought you had to put the all in a box and say that's the best one in charge of all others. How does that work? I don't know. Some would think I'm a jerk because I don't, and I say do. Find out who and whose you are. Harmony is what we've come here to find inside ourselves. The CELLS-F for the faith or fear we're willing to fill our ears with. Fear is the beginning of when we go into a mental spiral that contaminates the being that we are. And that is why I say no more. I go straight instead of down 13. I said until he turned that way, the man in front of me who is a fireman, because the brandishing on his vehicle, it all says where he's aligned, as we will find the logos and brands help us to do for when we wear the brands. That's when they command the value that we see we have because of how we belong and how much our clothes cost is said to say a lot. Oh, this is a hand-me-down. It did not cost me anything, and I'm grateful. Cheeky, cheeky, cheeky. Woo, sneaky. Getting to the goods without having to pay the price. So we thought when we took a shortcut. You know, I had someone that I used to respect a lot and no longer do. However, due to the relations, I am working to find forgiveness within myself and then towards them too, so that I can call more of myself back to. But I was told that some people take the shortcut, the easy way in life, which was presumed to be the one that I had chose. And then the other, who had pursued more indoctrination, education, said they had taken the hard path because it was an extra time they served to gain access to the indoctrination that has them selling out their soul to poison others. It's pretty shitty, in fact. And anyway, all of that is to say that from their perspective, I took the easy way. They also personally guaranteed me that they did not believe I will ever finish the book that I say rewrote me before the world got to see the version this me is now writing, which is underway. And I am proud to say that you'll find out more when it's time. And it's not yet, so there. But I say this because for a long time, because of having vested my respect into the one that cursed me in ways with the words that were spoken, I bought that BS and thought that because I was working on the equivalent of a PhD with this whole body of work that I am bringing forward now, 7, on the windshield of the one driving opposite there, which is the number of transformations spiritually. I thought maybe I had taken the easier way because I didn't have to pay to play with someone else's belief systems, though I've paid a lot to play with many belief systems over the years in order to know what I do. And to have also been able to take that and then work it through my own inner system to know whether it resonates or whether it doesn't, and then what I'm going to do with that. And I say this because after several years marinating on that BS, I say that they are the ones that have been deceived. As many who have come to believe that the education system is in fact in the highest good of any, who in fact may not be true, given that those who do sell poison to the masses, ultimately, when harm is caused to another man or woman, it comes back to the one that administered the shot. That is a lot of bad karma coming back. And the one that told me I'd taken the easy way because they judged how I've played the game, they'll find out soon enough, because I'm here to say, and always have been, I just didn't know the way before, and now Wednesday we'll find out with my pre-trial hearing, without a doubt, that if we take the suits, the titles, the statuses off of the men and women who have been making the rules as part of a corporatocratic takeover, it was a squirrel that tried to cross. And I stopped traffic to make sure that I was not responsible for taking his life, because I do not wish to kill anything, and never have wanted to cause harm, loss, or fraud to my fellow man, woman, child, or nature. I'm not perfect by any means, but I do have a very strong moral conscience, and science has been the con that removed and separated our consciousness from conscience. I remember Carolyn Mace saying such a thing. And so I think it's funny that as I was talking about that, I pulled my hair down, which is said to be like the antennas. The longer our hair is, then the more antennas, tentacles we have to spread into the world and feel our way through. And my hair has never grew so long as what it is now. Ironic, synchronistic, coincidental, maybe. It's one of my favorite stories that I have included in the book that is actually called Fully Committed. It came to me back in 2017 when I started writing the thing that completely transformed me. And I had to go through a lot of processes, in order to come to this place. And a lot of them offered contrast, such as the truck said, that helped me gain clarity as to what I want instead. So, I wish for you to know that even if you've sold your soul so far without knowing it or meaning to, you can change. It is not the end until you defend the lie and go further into the story that is not yours, the prescript that would deceive those who came to believe in a truth that was not theirs. So, that's a lot. I don't know whether I'll share this because I have for a long time tried to protect those who share the stories that taught me so much, many of which were not kind at all. And yet all of it was divine, because we would not be guided to or through anything we could not make it through. So keep trusting. And when fear is risking the overtaking of the cells within, remember to turn off the lights and start to walk in the darkness, to feel your way through. Idealize something outside of you. It will be taken away, and your identity then too. King's flower garden, oh my. So all of the garden of your own mind, the temples, your body is the whole temple. The mind is the real estate that is being fought for, like a garden, where you get to choose whether to tend to the flowers or to the weeds. And that, by choosing the flowers and that which will feed you and others soulfully, that is how you will weather these storms, my friend. And let me tell you, we need you strong. That's why I've given all of what does not belong to me but came through me. That's why I've given it all for free for so long, because I didn't fully value me. Though I did, but there were stories aligned to that which I have had some great teachers to help me work through, some of whom gave me such contrast that I say, okay, I'm ready to get the lesson, because there's no way I want another teacher, because the universe will send varying levels of teachers. First, the feather, then the sandpaper, then the wool, the 2x4, the I was trying to get out slowly, but was going prematurely to interrupt my way, the bus, and then the train, which it gets harder to recover from each of those, especially when done in vain. So, haha, let me refrain from going any further and simply say, okay, thank you, darling, for giving me such a hurtful lesson, so that finally I could grow and come to know the value that I have to offer this world. And to also say that it doesn't need to all be for pay, because I will continue to give much for free. I just have also learned to value me. And I hope that you have gained from what I have already put out and will continue to do in a more structured way. I hope, I intend, I am working on, and then you still will get these meanderings while I travel through the lands that I call home, and others do too, here in Norfolk County, where I am so grateful to have come to invest my life for this time. Up till now, I'm not committed to staying here specifically. I look forward to when the man I get to build with comes in to contend for a place in my life. My heart got gouged, and I saw how I have given the benefit of the doubt to those who did not necessarily value me the way I thought they did. And so I've grown, and my heart has been shattered, and it's taken time to get back over. And I'm still working on that, and yet I say I'm stronger now and more functional. So he who is the man to be mine, which is not in a controlling way. It's just, I only want one, just one that I can build with, and have for quite some time. Just thought I had and then found out not. So that hurt. And I still get rejected, and yeah, it sucks to be different sometimes and to want different things than most do. But one man will want to be with me and do what we came here to do, which I look forward to meeting him. Hopefully not forever away, and yet all of this is to say I'm good as I am, for I am working to be the noble gas partner Bruce Lipton talked about in the Honeymoon Effect. If you are not familiar, it's essentially to say that on the periodic table, compound chemicals are ones that are incomplete on their outer rings, and they need another incomplete chemical in order for them to then be completed. And that's where we get the honeymoon effect, where we think, oh my, they're so amazing, they complete me. Well, it's just their dysfunction completing you. But a noble gas partner is whole and complete in and of themselves, who can then jive with another noble gas who is also whole and complete in and of themselves, which is what I look forward to having for myself. Route 6, it says. Oh, what does that mean? I guess we'll find out. That's all to be seen for today, 2222.